It's way past time I dispense some indiscriminate justice!
G'day guys, Duckville here. We're going to have a look at a 2v2 that was sent in to me on Twitter, or not through Twitter, through email, but you know what I mean, from a gentleman on Twitter. I've just displayed that below. And this is going to be between some dudes from the MCG clan, and as we can see here, we've got McgHabs as the red Zerg over here, and McgHabs over here as the blue Terran. These guys are from MCG, that is not the Melbourne Cricket Ground. You'll know what I mean if you're from Melbourne, Australia, but this is actually from the Malta Cyber Games clan. These guys have just sort of started up and looking for some more players. If you are over on the, I'm presuming, yeah, the EU server, make sure you hit up those guys if you're looking for some clan mates, that sort of thing. And I'll display some contact info down below. But these guys, I believe, are Diamond or Masters 2s players, so this is going to be pretty cool. We'll have a look at some of the strategies that are used. Of course, in 2s it is very much a game where if you play teams or 2s, you'll know that early game it can start off with a lot of cheese or a lot of rushes, that sort of thing, because it is very much a very intense game right at the start, and then you can transition into some of the later game sort of stages. But down here their opponents will be Profane, the Terran down on the left side here, and SoKaR, the purple Protoss over here. This map is Ruins of Tarsonis, I believe is the name. As we can see here, it's actually just a little bit of a remake of an old 2s map, which was actually a little bit hard to play on as 2s because it was a little bit far to get to your teammates. There are these two sort of side paths, sorry, I was just totally forgetting the words there, with some destructible debris on there, which actually give you access down to another expansion. Technically it's a third expansion because you actually have a natural down here and another one over here, so both players can expand quite easily. There are two Xel'Naga watchtowers on the sides of the map. They don't fully cover the middle section of the map of the actual movement path through the middle here, but they do cover a lot of the side, and obviously it makes it a little bit hard to do drops around the side if your opponents control the two Xel'Naga watchtowers. But key things, of course, to keep an eye on this map are, of course, these destructible debris. You can obviously have some backdoor attacks through here if you're not careful. Of course, for Zerg, you can put an Overlord across there and actually watch out for it, which, as we can see, McgHabs is just doing here, and he'll probably pop another one over here on his side as well. Other things that I have seen from time to time are actually sieging up down just over here. If you're against some Terrans, be very careful about siege tanks just rolling up here, setting up shop, and just shelling away at the natural expansion here. And you can do the same thing over here, but it's not as advantageous because you can't get fully into that natural. But anyway, so those are some things to keep in mind. Now, of course, in 2s we do see generally very basic sorts of strategies at the start. As we can see here, we've got 3 racks from McgHabs. He's going to be pumping out some Marines. As we can see here, a couple already done. And now from the other team, we actually have some Marines from Profane already coming across the map. Some Zealots on the way as well. There are 3 there. There are probably a couple more pumping out because we do have 2 gateways here and a couple of racks as well. We got just 2 actually for the moment. 2 racks here from Profane. They are going to take out one Overlord, which is actually going to hurt McgHabs quite a bit because he's not going to want to waste any lava on getting out another Overlord at the moment, but he's going to have to deal with it somehow. So we've got some Marines from here from McgHabs. He's probably going to be able to outproduce shortly, and this attack probably won't be too successful. But as we can see, one of the key things of playing 2s is if your armies are split up like this, when you actually have these Marines separated from his teammate, McgHabs is going to have to be very careful with these roaches. Not enough roaches there to take care of those Marines, I would think, and the Zealots here obviously chasing away at these Marines as well, and they will be able to take care of a lot of those Marines with some good micro, but the Marines have been dispatched here by these roaches, of course, and now the final Marine from Profane has been taken out, and, oh, sorry, no, that was actually one of McgHabs' Marines taken out there by a leftover Zealot from SoKaR. Some of the roaches being destroyed now as well. A couple of Marines are doing a great job of taking out these roaches, and one roach left over. He's not going to have too much to deal with after these attacks are done from SoKaR. Beautiful transfuse there from the Queen. McgHabs doing a good job. Going to use the Queen to deflect these 2 remaining Marines, and that is that, keeping that roach alive. Brilliant little micro move there from our red Zerg player. So he's McgHabs, so we got there, my bad. Profane switching over here, he's going to grab a 2 tech labs back on both of those racks, building up a couple more racks at the back here. In fact, he's going to get 3 more. There was one Zealot that survived the party up in the base of Team 1. We'll call these guys Team 1, by the way. MCG clan will be Team 1, and the random guys will be Team 2. But as you can see, building up the wall here, just making sure that there are enough defensive sort of measures here for Team 2 to survive any sort of counter attack. We do have a Zergling that's just sort of sitting out the front there from McgNoXXiDe, just checking out what's going on. Some more roaches coming across the map here. We've got a couple more, and a lot of Marines are being prepared from McGHabs as well. We can see that there are 4 racks up in total now. No gas for the moment, of course. This is pretty much a standard sort of thing from a Terran and a Zerg in this 2v2 matchup, is to see roaches to tank and also do a lot of damage, of course, but generally they tank, while the Marines come across and then actually do the damage from afar, because of course the Marines do great DPS when they do have someone covering them as a little bit of a meat shield. But now, as you can see here, this one's a little bit unfortunately stuck out the front. The bridge is now coming inside. This pylon will probably go down from all of these attacks here. Some orders are out, so they will be able to take care of a lot of these bridges once the bridges have moved too far in. But as you can see here, we do have that attack deflected. It's a lot like watching tennis or something like that. When you're watching twos at sort of a higher level, is that it can just be incredibly back and forth. But now, as you can see, a supply depot almost going down, a little bit of a SCV just came across just in time to repair that one. Now, rallied across goes that Marine. He's going to be need to be very careful with that. Building up a couple more. No, it's a command center plus 2 refineries going down perhaps, so he is going to switch into something a little bit more gas useful perhaps. And this one Marine that was rallied across is going to have a fun time just checking out what's in the middle of the map here. As you can see, it's in fact gotten inside the base here because the wall is not completed. That Marine is actually taking out an SCV, which is quite interesting. Team 2 only just now reacting, deciding that it's not a cool idea to have a Marine inside your base. But McgNoXXiDe is going to set up this natural expansion. So this is, as I said, you have that sort of early part of the game where you have a lot of cheese or perhaps some rushes from both of the teams. It's obviously counterattacks and that sort of thing, and then you sort of move into this little bit of a later game stage. So this is where you do need to be very careful. As we can see here, Profane's got a very nice mixture of units. He's got some Marauders to take care of the roaches, as we mentioned before, and some Marines to deal with those Zerglings if there are any that pop out. And it looks as if we actually have an attack coming in here from SoKaR and Profane. They're going to see what they can do. A scan goes off just to see what's inside. There are a lot of Marines here, plus a lot of Zerglings just came through with their speed upgrade as well. So this expansion is going to need to be perhaps needs to be cancelled by McgNoXXiDe. I'm not really sure if he's actually going to need to, because the battle will take place beforehand, and the battle will obviously decide. There are a lot of Marines here for McGHabs. He's probably going to dictate the battle there with those Marines. The roach is taking a lot of damage, as we mentioned before, with roaches being the point of being a meat shield in this particular combination. And yeah, I would say these Marines are definitely going to clean up the rest of this fight here. Perhaps these Stalkers with a little bit of micro would do a good job, but I don't think there's just enough there. Some leftover Zealots being walked in here. They're not going to be able to do too much, of course, because the Marines will dispose of them quite quickly as well. We do see some reinforcements on the minimap coming across from Profane, but I don't think it's going to be in time. The Zerglings is doing a great job of holding up those Stalkers, not letting them get away. There is no blink on these Stalkers either, so those Stalkers will probably go down, or a couple get away. And the Marines still doing a good job from McGHabs as well. A stick goes off, however, some more Marines come inside. There's just not enough Marines for Profane to get inside here and actually take out any of these units. Plus more Marines, as you can see, coming down from McGHabs, and just not enough coming in from Team 2. So they probably will succumb and be deflected quite easily here by MCG Clan, and down they go. So the attack has finally ended there from Team 2. We'll go back to their base and have a quick look at what they're up to. Just 4 gates at the moment for SoKaR, and he's got Blink on the way from that Twilight Council. Still got 5 racks up in total for Profane. We'd probably see perhaps a little bit more, but no, he's actually just continuing with the production of the Marine Marauder combo. We don't actually have too much tech coming up from Profane at the moment. He's getting Combat Shield, which will of course help with the Marines surviving a little bit longer, but I think their problem at the moment is that they're going to have no natural expansion, and as we can see, McGHabs has got his command center down at the natural. Some SCVs are already there mining up, and there are a massive total of racks here. We actually have a total of 8 racks built up here. We don't have any reactors, but we do have a tech lab there, just getting the STEM research, which will really help out with his attacks. And of course, McgNoXXiDe has his expansion done as well, and we will see perhaps another counter attack from these guys here. As we said, it's like watching a game of tennis where you're looking left, looking right, and as we can see, the battle is going to commence here, and we do see McgNoXXiDe trying to come in the back of those Marines to make sure they cannot retreat. Stem going off from both of the Terrans, but it's just not enough for Team 2 to hold off just at the moment, but I think there will be enough Stalkers now, especially with the Marines getting their combat shield. They stay up just a tiny bit longer, a little bit more micro on those Stalkers would be really nice from SoKaR, but as you can see, a blink finally going off, and the Marines will definitely take care of these leftover Marauders from McgHabs. Down that goes, but still trying to do some good pokes into the main bases there of both of these teams, doing what they can, trying to actually make sure that the other player does not get their natural up and running. But as we said before, we actually have both of the natural expansions for the MCG team up and running already. And now we just see some rally Marines are actually going to go down there, not actually getting to see too much. We'll have a quick look at what the vision shows us. We see that we actually can see from Profane that he knows that that's there, knows that there is, he probably assumed that there is a command center over here as well, and the scan just checking out that there are still a lot of Marines and a lot of Marauders here as well from McgHabs. Now, it's still a lot of Zerglings here at the moment, but there are no other additional units coming through, and I'll tell you why that is happening. We actually have an infestation pit done. That is really going to help out with Team 1's progression through the map, because they're going to be able to pump out. McgNoXXiDe's going to grab some infestors, I would assume. They're going to come out soon once that, what's it called, pathogen glands is done, and he's going to be able to use some, oh my god, I totally forgot the name of it. The fungal growth, that's the one. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot the name of that. To rip up some of the Marine Marauder combo. Not to mention the Stalkers, now that they do have Blink, once fungal growth is down on those Stalkers, they can't actually blink away. So that actually makes fungal growth really, really powerful in this particular matchup. And as we can see, there's still a lot of Marine Marauder coming out from McgHabs at the moment. He doesn't look to switch too much from what he's currently doing, getting an engineering bay, perhaps going to get some upgrades to help out this Marine Marauder combo. And now as we see, just still a lot of Marines coming out. So what's the plan for team number 2? Well, they still don't know that the infestation pit is done, so they're still popping out a lot of these sort of basic units which will be absolutely torn apart by fungal growth. So I'm not really sure what the plan is for them. They probably would need to set down a scan to make sure they can check out what McgNoXXiDe is up to, because of course in twos, when you got a team game like this, the Zerg can really dictate what the state of the game is. And now that these infestors are out with their extra energy, they will be able to do a lot of damage once the battle commences. Now, a third hatch going up from McgNoXXiDe is going to be able to pump out a lot more units once he gets that up and running. And as we can see, we do have SoKaR attempting to come up the side of the map. He's probably going to try and take out these destructible debris covering the backdoor ramp here. Still having room across to defend this. I'm not really sure what the plan is from team number 1. It looks as if the infestors are going to be used to cover this. It could be quite easy, but oh, I think I know what's going to happen. We're going to have a lot of these lings coming across. We have a total of 80, 90 lings in total, and the fungal growth goes down, and these Zerglings are going to be able to capture all these Stalkers here. Blink has been used a little bit, but it's just not enough, as you can see, with some fungal growth being used quite nicely there. They are going to be able to destroy all of those Stalkers, and as we can see on the army tab, SoKaR has been absolutely obliterated there. His supply count going down into the 50s, not to mention all of his, those minerals that were lost in that attack. And now some Marines coming into the front here, Stim going up the cap to take out one of those infestors, but I do not think this is going to be enough. There are way too many Zerglings here. Fungal growth going down, there it is, some beautiful Stim micro there from Profane, but it's just not enough given the potential combo here from MCG team. And there you go, that was the game. So that was some Diamond Masters level 2s from these great players from MCG, and of course decent job there by SoKaR and Profane, but I think they just perhaps pushed the limit just a little bit too far with those attacks. But either way, great job from all of those guys. So make sure you check out some more 2s replays which I have posted up on the channel in various places, and thank you guys for watching. Cheers.